Hi everybody, and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. In this post, we've got a story from the subreddit Relationships and one from Social Skills, both with update and final update. So, if you want to go ahead and get started with the stories, you can use the timestamps below the video to navigate. Now let's get started with that first story. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Rolexpreneur. I, 24 male, caught my sister, 26 female, trying to steal a watch of mine, and now my mother, 51 female, wants me to apologize to her. Background: I own an alternative investment consulting company. Basically, I find things for wealthy people to invest in outside of the typical stocks and bonds type of thing. I get to fly around the world buying cool things at auctions, check out cool new businesses, did some Bitcoin investment early on 2011, etc. Thankfully, money is not an issue for me, and my biggest hobby happens to be watches. Now onto the topic of this post. So last night I had some people over to celebrate moving into my new place. I had some family and friends, including my sister and my mother. When I was growing up with my sister, she would often steal from me and other family members. Money from my mom's purse or dad's wallet. She'd sneak into my room and take things, steal money from our grandparents, etc. We aren't very close because of this, and I always try to keep an eye on her when she's around. Despite this, I decided to invite my sister over because she doesn't live too far away, and I know my mom would have been upset if I didn't. I put all of my watches and valuables in my safe, but I left out the watch I had planned on wearing that night, but ended up not wearing it and leaving it on my dresser. At one point during the party, my sister asked me where the bathroom was, and I pointed down the hallway and told her the bathroom was on the left. A couple of minutes later, I went to grab something from my room and saw her come out of my room as I was walking down the hall. She gave me this startled deer in the headlights look and said she was looking for the bathroom and walked away really quickly. I immediately got worried and went to do a quick look around my room. I immediately noticed the watch missing from on top of my dresser. This isn't some cheap $20 watch. I paid over $30K for it. I left my room and went straight to my sister to confront her. I pulled her off to the side so it wouldn't cause a scene and told her that I knew she took my watch, and if she gave it back right then, I wouldn't call the cops. She got extremely defensive and started yelling about how she didn't take crap from me and how I'm an a-hole, etc. At this point, a lot of people were staring and listening to us. She told me she was leaving and started heading toward the door. I knew if she left, I might never see my watch again. So I grabbed her purse from her and dumped everything on the ground. Sure enough, there is my watch right there on the ground with the rest of the stuff from her purse. My sister screamed at me and called me an effing a-hole and scooped up most of her stuff and ran out of my place. My mom followed her out and ended up not returning to the party. So after an awkward rest of the party, I got a call from my mom. She was mad at me. I got some long lecture about how I didn't need to humiliate my sister in front of everyone at the party, how she couldn't help herself, and that my sister is crying and upset now because of the scene I caused. She also got mad at me for going through my sister's purse and told me that I should never look in a lady's purse and that it was a complete invasion of privacy. First of all, I tried to pull my sister off to the side. She was the one who started yelling at me and causing a scene that made everyone look over at her. I also wouldn't have had to go through her purse if she didn't steal from me and deny it and try to leave. I'm not just going to risk losing a $30,000 watch because I shouldn't look through a lady's purse. So now my mom wants me to not only apologize to my sister, but to tell all the guests that were there that it was a big misunderstanding and my sister didn't take anything. I'm not really sure what I should do about my mom. There is no way I'm going to apologize to my sister. She should be the one apologizing to me. And I'm certainly not going to lie to my guests to get my sister out of the awkward mess she created for herself. I also don't know what to do about my sister. At this point, I'm pretty much done with her. I think she should be the one apologizing, but I doubt she will ever do that. Thanks in advance for any advice. Yikes, OP, there is definitely something wrong with both your mom and your sister if they both believe that you did something wrong here. It's just as you stated. She tried to steal from you. You did try to pull her to the side and gave her one chance, which she refused and tried to gaslight you into thinking you were being an a-hole and wanted to leave with your watch. And while I was reading what your mom told you, that it was an invasion of privacy, well, your sister invaded your privacy first by going into your room without permission and taking something from you. What the hell? My suggestion with your sister would be follow your gut. You're done with her. No more. And with your mom, if she can't really understand that your sister did something wrong here and that covering for her won't help, then I would say she's on the same boat as your sister. But what do you guys think? What is your opinion on this situation? What advice would you give OP? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what kind of advice they gave. The Great Avocado says, Mom, sister was about to steal $30,000 from me. That is not some small thing. I would have sent her to jail for that because any sister that would so callously just steal from me is no sister of mine. By asking me to apologize to her, you are enabling her behavior and making it seem like she got a pass. You need to understand that I don't owe her anything. She is the one that needs to apologize. I love you, but I'm not bending on this, and I will end any future conversations about this by leaving or hanging up. My sister does not deserve sympathy for being embarrassed. She's lucky I'm not reporting this to the police. The Table Dude says, Okay, Mom, I'll apologize to her for embarrassing her when she tried to steal a $30,000 watch from me. But first, I'm going to call the cops and report it. Or she can apologize to me and I won't call the police. Which would you prefer? Deleted says, if you want to be snarky, you could point out it had been even more embarrassing for your sister to have been arrested. Honestly, I don't have good advice for handling your mom. As far as your sister goes, it's time for the kid gloves to come off. If she steals from you again, treat her like the thief she is and call the cops. Edit. Don't bother lying to the guests, that'd be enabling. Well, the community absolutely agrees that first of all, OP shouldn't be apologizing to the sister and that the mom is way out of line. They also gave some pretty cool mock-up responses of what OP should say to his mom in order to shut this whole thing down. Now, like I said on the beginning of the video, we've got an update and a final update, so let's continue with the first one. I invited my mom to lunch so that we could discuss what happened at the party and where to go from there. I explained to her that my sister stole a very expensive watch from me. It wasn't just some trinket, and it shouldn't matter even if it was. I tried to pull her away and confront her in private, but she chose to yell and curse at me and cause a scene. I also told her that I understand it is never okay to look into someone's private purse or bag, but that sort of etiquette goes out the window when tens of thousands of dollars of my stolen property is in her purse. My mom then went on a long rant about how we are all family and that she and my sister believe that a family should share in each other's success. She told me that my sister was just upset because I was hoarding all of my money for myself and that it's understandable what she did. She said that I would have never gotten where I am today without all the work she put into raising me and the influence she and my sister had on my life. Then she went on to tell me that I owe it to her to evenly share my success with her and my sister since we are family, and they would certainly do the same in my position. That's a laugh. At this point, I'm pretty dumbfounded. Not only because she thinks my sister's actions were somehow justified, but because she credits herself for my success and thinks it's selfish of me not to share with her and my sister. And don't even get me started on her trying to act like she and my sister would do the same. I know for a fact my sister wouldn't give me a dime if I were 10 cents short of a heart transplant. And my mom still owes me tens of thousands of dollars that she borrowed and swore she would pay back. I don't expect it back and wrote it off as soon as I gave it to her. I just can't even fathom how my mom could actually think like that. I was so furious and didn't want to say anything I'd regret. So I got up and walked out. Oh yeah, I also got a text half an hour later saying that I owed her money for lunch since I was the one who invited her, despite the fact that neither of us had even ordered before I left. She later called me, but I didn't want to talk, so I let it go to voicemail. She left a voicemail telling me to check my email. Here is her email. Side note, I would regularly use my Karen voice for reading the email, but I don't want to annoy anybody too much, so just pretend I'm using this voice while reading the email. First of all, it was rude of you to walk out on me at the cafe. I was humiliated, and you should know better than to treat your mother like that. As I said in the text, you owe me money for lunch since you were the one who invited me, so please bring $60 to give to me at Craig's barbecue. It is a shame that I even need to be telling you this. I know I raised you better than that. But you really need to start supporting this family. We are all one, and the success of any individual needs to be spread around the family. Your sister works as a pastry chef and is always more than happy to bake for everyone and bring us treats from work. I wish you would do the same. You can start out by helping me with the new apartment I'm moving to. The rent is $4,250 per month, not including utilities, and I'm planning on moving in around the 1st of September, so that gives you plenty of time to set up some sort of monthly bank transfer. I'm going to need $8,500 in about 2 weeks for the first and last month's rent. I'll also need you to come over a few times this month to help move my stuff over there. Bring the bigger truck, unless that's the manual because Todd doesn't know how to drive a stick. As thanks for moving my things over there, I will cover the security deposit myself, so you don't need to worry about it. And you still haven't apologized to your sister, so please get that done this week. It will take 5 minutes tops, so just get it done. It was wrong to humiliate her like that, and guess who had to be the one comforting her? Me, like usual. Text me to confirm that you got everything and let me know how soon you can bring the truck over. I should also mention that I currently pay for her rent. After some long guilt trip about how she gave me free food and housing for 18 years, so it's time for me to repay the favor. I can clearly see now that that was a big mistake. Now she just assumes I'm going to pay her rent at some new huge place that costs twice as much and that she doesn't need. At this point, I'm done giving her any support. She clearly has no appreciation for it. That's just a taste of how my mom acts. She is extremely entitled and just expects everything in life to be given to her. As far as my sister goes, I haven't contacted her and she hasn't contacted me. At this point, I'm just done with her in my life. I don't know if I should do the same for my mother though. I would hate to not have a relationship with her, but I just can't believe how she could possibly think those things. Anyway, I just sent my mom an email letting her know that I will not be giving her any more money. Here's the gist of it. I will not be paying the rent for the new, more expensive apartment you want to move in. Not only will I not be paying for that, but I won't be paying for your rent for any apartment anymore. You will have to do that yourself. In addition to that, I will not be giving you any money whatsoever. You have shown that you have no respect for me or the work it takes to earn money, and I cannot continue to pay for things you don't need. I know this means cutting back a bit, but there is no reason for you to be living outside your means, and I won't subsidize your expensive lifestyle. I wrote it all out completely different, but that's the gist of what I told her. So now, I'm just waiting for the freak out I'm sure is going to happen. Whoa, OP, your mom is one entitled crazy piece of work. What is wrong, man? Aw man, I know it's sad because it's your mom and you would want to have a relationship with her, but like you say, she clearly has no respect for you. She just treats you like a bag of money. So like I said before, I would put your mom on the same boat as your sister and just let it sail away. You don't need that kind of toxicity in your life. Also, good for you for sending that email with such strong boundaries. Not many people with a parent like the one you have are able to do that right away. So good job. Now, I'm sure you guys want to know what happened after this, so I'm going to stop my yapping and we're going to move on to the final update. A few hours after I sent the email, my phone starts blowing up. Calls over and over again. I still really didn't want to talk to her, so I ignored them all. A little while later, I get a call from my friend Dave. Except when I answer the phone, it's my mom. I found out later from Dave that she showed up at the bike shop he works at and made up some story about her locking her purse with her phone and keys in the car and needed to call me for a ride. She immediately goes off on me about how ungrateful I am and that she is disgusted by the email I sent, etc. She told me that it's my duty to make sure she is well cared for and comfortable, as she is the reason I'm here in the first place. The worst part was when she told me that if she knew I was going to end up this way, that she wouldn't have put her life on hold for the last 2 decades in order to have me, and that I cost her her job and my dad and a bunch of her life plans. I couldn't even get a word in with all her yelling. The last thing she said was something along the lines of, "You need to have a come to Jesus moment and realize how much you are hurting your mother. I have already packed up most of my stuff and have spent a ton of time setting up this move. I expect the $8,500 before the weekend is over in a cashier's check, so let me know when you have it." And then she hung up. I don't think I have ever been so mad in my entire life. She pretty much just told me that I need to make up for everything she missed out on in order to have me by giving her money and making sure she's taken care of. I called her back and she tried to start talking, and I don't remember exactly what I said because I was so angry, but I basically told her to shut the F up and let me talk. But with more swearing and yelling. I'm usually pretty calm and would never swear at my mom. I would never even swear near her. And I know I shouldn't have said that, but I wasn't thinking straight. I told her she better find another place to live or pay her rent herself, because she wasn't getting another dime from me. I turned my phone off after that because I didn't want to deal with any more calls or texts. I eventually needed to use my phone, so I turned it back on and just blocked her number. I saw that I had some calls and messages from her, but I didn't even want to look at them. This morning, I got a call from the front desk at my building telling me that my mom had tried to get up to my flat, but I had already told the elevator staff and security to take her off my guest list. Apparently, she caused quite the fuzz when they wouldn't let her up. She is blocked on my phone now, so I haven't heard from her today yet. But I expect her to blow up on me again for what happened this morning. I think she's probably in denial and thinks that I will cave and pay for her new place. I don't know what she's going to do when the deadline for her to pay for her new place comes up, and I refuse to give her any money. And that's it, that's the end of it. OP definitely cut off contact with her mom, blocked and out of his life. Good for him for standing up for himself. I think the part that disgusted me the most about this woman is when she blamed OP for her husband leaving her. No lady, he left you for you. Horrible people. Ugh. Anyways, to finish up this video, we're gonna move on to a much more positive note with a post that also has 2 updates. This is a very short story, but it's fantastic. This post is from the subreddit Social Skills, and it's by user 813Jazzy'sMe. I'm so proud of my awkward self. In 2018, OP posted, "Today I got a cute guy's number at the arcade, then proceeded to play more games together. This is big, cause I freeze up around the even mildly attractive guys, so yay me." Then in 2019, she made an update. "Last year, I posted here in excitement about overcoming my anxiety and getting a cute guy's number. Today was our 1-year anniversary dating. It's good to stick a foot out of the comfort zone every now and then, and I learned that from this sub. I would have never thought I'd get this far a year ago. Thank you." And in 2020, she made a final update. "We're getting married! That's all. Thank you for all the kindness and encouragement and support in past posts." So I'm gonna keep it short like OP. Congratulations OP, that's great news. All the best to the both of you. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing, and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.